Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Joyce Madsen, and I'm one of your companions this morning. And we have a different service this morning for this very last Sunday in 2024. And many thanks to Katie Alexander for putting together a cast of thousands. And the service will be self-directed, so we're just going to move from one item to the next, and things will appear on the screen, and there will be times when you're supposed to stand and times when you don't, and so, but you know what? No one's keeping score, so don't worry about it if you feel like you have not moved in quite the right direction at the right time. Welcome to Southminster Steiner United Church. SSUC, Spiritual Seekers United in Community, where we welcome everybody, all sizes, all ages. We have some little ones and some oldie ones, all colors, cultures, genders, abilities, and you see some of those abilities this morning. All religions or none. All learning styles, just all types. Everybody is welcome in this place. So we are glad you're joining us, whether you're physically in the room this morning or you're joining us through the magic of the internet. So enjoy the service.
It's hard to tell if you're talking on this or you're being heard on this. Anyway, good morning. I'm Mary McFarland. I'm your other gathering companion this morning. I'm going to be lighting the community candle. In these days, these final days of 2024, many of us will be reflecting on the memories of these past 12 months. We may reflect on the joys, the challenges, the opportunities, the learnings, the growth, and the gifts that 2024 has brought into our lives. We are not the same person that we were as we started this year, and so too with our SSUC community. As a community this past year, we have experienced joys, challenges, opportunities, learning, and times of growth. And so we are not the same community as we were at the beginning of 2024. As we light our community candle one last time for 2024, I invite you to reflect on how, as individuals and as community, we have grown and changed over these past 12 months.
We take time every week to honor the fact that we live on Treaty 6 territory, as do our sister congregation in Saskatchewan. I just want to say that I have spent most of my life living on Treaty 6 territory, taking it all very much for granted, enjoying the benefits that this land has to offer, in that, there's always been food to eat, and the opportunity to go driving in July and watch the canola fields in bloom, and the fact that we have clean water and the land continues to nurture us is all part of the fact that it's been taken care of for many thousands of years by First Nations and the Métis peoples. It is the traditional territory of the Cree, Dene, Nakota Sioux, Saulteaux, and the Blackfoot. And I am very aware that we need to work together to maintain the strength and vibrancy of these lands, because we are holding them for future generations.
I would like to read a poem from Joy Harjo called There Was a Time. Jo was a member of the Muskogee Nation, and she was the first Native American poet laureate. And this is her take on time. There was a time before us. There was a time before the time before us, long ago and not so long ago at all. In those long ago times, you and I were unimagined, just as those long ago people seem magically unimaginable to us. But if we listen on foggy mornings, we can hear the long ago people singing. On sparkle winter evenings, we smell their fresh-baked bread. And somehow, our pockets are full of memories that we did not make. The long ago people still live in us, just as our songs and bread loaves somehow lived before we lived in them. So it is. We caress old words and memories like smooth stones. We hold our open palms to the sky. We know. We know there was a time before us. There was a time before the time before us. And our now will soon be long ago.
Long before the night before she wrapped her scarlet arms around the hills, there was a love, this ancient love was born. Long before the grass spotted green of their hillside, long before the wing unfolded to wind, long before she wrapped her long blue arms around the sky, this was a love, this ancient love was born. Wakeful autumn nights and slumbers are morning, stubborn in the grass, sowing green wounded hills. As we rub our healing arms to hold what her arms held, this ancient love, this aching love rolls on.
Yeah. We're going to be reading a story called Stop the Clock. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Yep, mic's good. Stop the clock. Hurry up, Joe. Look at the time, said Mom. Where's your other sock? I don't know, said Joe. Then find another pair and put on your shoes. Is your book in your bag? Take a piece of toast to eat on the way. Where are my keys? Poppy, let me strap you in. I must put out the bin. What's the time now? Oh, come on, do be quick. It's like my mornings. And whoosh, slam. Mom, Joe, and Poppy were out of the house, hurrying, worrying, and scurrying along the road. Run, Joe, you're being too slow, said Mom. We're going to be late. Wah, wailed Polly. They got to school just in time. In you go, said Mom. Have a lovely day. Sit down, everyone, quick as you can, said Mr. Kahn. Look at the time. We haven't got long to get everything done before break time. Put on your aprons, sit in your places, and pick a piece of paper. Now, paint a picture of what you saw on your way to school. Swish, blue sky, painted Joe. Up along, down gray buildings. Splurge, red bus, and whirl black wheels. Dot, dot, yellow flowers. Joe was about to paint Poppy when, time to stop, said Mr. Kahn. We mustn't be late. Wash your hands, hang up your aprons, place your pictures over there. Hurry up, Joe. You're being too slow. Look at the clock. Tick tock, tick tock. But Joe wanted to include Poppy in the picture. Stop the clock, shouted Joe. The clock stopped. Time and everything else stood still, all except for Joe. Joe took a big, slow breath. He drew Poppy. Why is she crying? Then Joe got off his chair and went looking at things. So everything is frozen in time. He saw so much more than he'd seen before. Now he saw that the sky wasn't just bright blue. There was gray and white and light blue too, and there were birds in it. Plants and tiny creatures made a miniature world. And the buildings were different too. You could tell what sort of people lived in each one if you looked at the clues. He saw more people, and they were interesting. He noticed other things. Poppy's teddy. It's on the ground. Joe headed back to school. He put his picture on the pile. Then he took a deep breath and said, "Clocks, you can start again now." They did. At home time, Joe made 2 people happy. Their smiles made him happy too. "But where are you in your picture?" asked Mom. Joe added himself so that everything was in his picture, except for the clock. And Poppy has her little stuffy back. And that's the picture that he drew. Yeah. The end.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, you're so welcome. You are so welcome.
Yesterday, a child came out to wander, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in a circle game. Then the child moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams. Words like "when you're older" must appease him, and promises of someday make his dreams. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. 16 springs and 16 summers gone now. Cartwheels turn to car wheels through the town. And they tell him, take your time, it won't be long now, till you drag your feet to slow the circles down. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. Years been by, and now the boy is 20. Though his dreams have lost, some grander coming true. There'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams and plenty, before the last revolving year is through. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. And go round and round and round in the circle game.
Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come.
We have only today. Let us begin. Mother Teresa. Our time is limited, so we mustn't waste it living someone else's life. Steve Jobs. The trouble is, we think we have time. Jack Cornfield. Time is more valuable than money. We can always get more money, but we cannot get more time. Jim Rohn. Someday is a disease that can take our dreams to the grave with us. Timothy Ferris. The way we spend our time defines who we are. Jonathan Estrin. At the end of our life, we will never regret not having passed one more test, not winning one more verdict, or not closing one more deal. We will regret time not spent with a partner, a friend, a child, or a parent. Barbara Bush. People hurry so they can get to places faster, where they'd rather not be, so they can have more time to do things they'd rather not be doing. Peter Turla. If we wait for the perfect moment when all is safe and assured, it may never arrive. Mountains will not be climbed, races won, or lasting happiness achieved. Maurice Chevalier. Let us begin doing what we want to do now. We are not living in eternity. We have only this moment, sparkling like a star in our hand and melting like a snowflake. Sir Francis Bacon.
Why can't this be the day when yesterday gives way to the fresh hope of who we yet will be? Why can't this be the day when needed changes stay, living our strength, claiming our joy, knowing we're free? The past is past. No need for guilt.
Poet John O'Donoghue was an Irish priest who worked in the second half of the 20th century. He was a poet, he was a writer, and a philosopher. The mind of time is hard to read. We can never predict what it will bring, nor even from all that is already gone, can we say what form it finally takes. For time gathers its moments secretly. Often we only know it's time to change when a force that is built inside the heart that leaves us uneasy as we are. Perhaps the work we do has lost its soul, or the love where we once belonged calls nothing alive in us anymore. We drift through this gray, increasing nowhere until we stand before a threshold we know we have to cross to come alive once more. May we have the courage to take the step into the unknown that beckons us. Trust that a richer life awaits us there, that we will lose nothing but what has already died. Feel the deeper knowing in us, sure of all that is about to be born beyond the pale frames where we stay confined, not realizing how such vacant endurance was bleaching our soul's desire.
There is a time that we must leave, oh, from this place where hatreds breed, and turning feel the Spirit breathe together. For blessed are all lives, blessed are love, and blessed the promise gathered now. There is a bow within the rain, and it will come and bend again, and colors shine where we have been together. For blessed are life, blessed are love, and blessed the promise gathered now.
Dust, if you must. But wouldn't it be better to paint a picture or write a letter, bake a cake or plant a seed? Ponder the difference between want and need. Sorry. Dust if you must, but there's not much time. With rivers to swim and mountains to climb, music to hear, books to read, friends to cherish, and life to lead. Dust if you must, but the world's out there with the sun in your eyes and the wind in your hair, a flutter of snow, a shower of rain. This day will not come round again. dust if you must. But bear in mind, old age will come, and it's not kind. And when you go, and go you must, you yourself will make more dust.
We have this one life to give to vow. We have this day, the gift of now. We have this one life to live to vow. It's a rich full day when our love's on display. Our cares and action that we pray. We have this day, the gift of today. With grateful hearts, we make our way. We have this day, the gift of today. With grateful hearts, we make our way.
This next reading is from the ancient Hebrew book of wisdom, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 to 8. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace.
My name is Claire Woodbury, and I'm here to tell you that we have the power to decide if life is a friend or if it's going to be a foe. Life can be something that seems to go by oh so slowly, one boring thing after another that we're eager to forget. No fun at all. And looking back, there seems to have been nothing of interest that we've done, and nothing but more dull days ahead. And then there's the experience that many of us have that life and time just race by. And life seems like something disappearing down a dark hole someplace that doesn't have any bottom. And where did it all go, we ask ourselves. Whether life drags on at a snail's pace or seems to speed out of control, seemingly, they are both cases when time seems more an enemy, a foe, than a friend. Well, I want to tell you that there are ways of turning that around. But it all depends on knowing our values. Now, we've got a fine set of values up on the wall: caring, integrity, truth, honesty, all the rest of them. But what is important is that we internalize them, make them part of our life and not just some decoration on the wall. Now, there are points in our life where we make decisions that determine our course for the future, and that includes what schools we will attend, where we will apply for work, what charities we volunteer for, or if the years have caught up with you like they have with me, what are we going to do with this time we have on our hands as retired people? Now, whether life becomes a friend or a foe depends very much on what decisions we make at these key turning points in our life. I was serving as the minister of this church quite a few years ago, more than I want to remember, but I broke each week down into blocks of time. Each morning, each afternoon, and each evening were one block of time each. And an evening could be less hours spent, perhaps, but you were a little tired in the evening. And so an evening counted as one block of time. An experience has taught me that if I worked 15 of these blocks in any given week, that was all that was really good for my health. More time given to work became, well, drudgery rather than enjoyable time that was spent doing something that was important, was of value, was of use, that made a difference. My advice is to plan ahead for good health, doing the work that you love to do. And that is a recipe for turning time into a friend. Every once in a while, I got a little carried away and broke the week down into 15-minute blocks of time and just register what I was doing in each of those segments. Now, quite often, I was doing the same thing for several segments, so that made it easy. And when I finished, I could look back over the week and see where my time had gone. Was I spending it according to the set of values, or was I just letting it slip away? Well, there's another way of making time a friend, and that's by building in memories that are turning points. Now, Joyce and I have been to Italy 3 times, and each time has produced a treasure trove of memories. There's standing before Michelangelo's statue of David, an awesome event. And then there's things like St. Francis town of Assisi. Together we did consulting too across Alberta and Saskatchewan, and that produced another treasure trove of memories. All the murals on the walls of the church in Hannah, and the sloping floor that made life very precarious in the Anglican church in the same community. A spiritual event at Camrose United Church that was planned and carried out by Joyce. And then there was the accidentally letting a bit of our theology show when we were working with a fundamentalist Baptist church and never being invited back to those Baptists again. Well, there was the 50th birthday party of Joyce some years ago. Won't say how many. With 35 of our friends, and then there was my 90th birthday with a bum knee and no partying allowed. But they were all important experiences and formed great memories that were just there, and you could look back and realize time had not raced back as an enemy. Time provided all kinds of memories, and it was a friend. And then there's the fish philosophy. The fish philosophy comes from a number of years ago when a reporter was shopping in a fish market in Seattle and saw them behind the fish counters throwing fish back and forth and just having a great time. And so he interviewed them, and the results formed a book called, amazingly enough, The Fish Philosophy, and a best-selling training video as well. And the essence of what he learned with those interviews is that you can choose your attitude. You can choose your attitude. You can get up in the morning and you can be a grouch, rah, 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 rah. Or you can choose to be enthusiastic once again about life. You can grumble about how unfair life is to impose some to-do list on you. Or you can decide to make your life enjoyable. And believe it or not, that makes life enjoyable for everyone around you. Life becomes fun. And that enjoyment slows life down. and makes each day memorable. One last trick. Just tell your wife or your husband or your partner that you love them. And watch the smile spread across their face. And you'll find that you are smiling too. So there it is. Plan your time so it will be your friend, not your foe. Build in memorable moments that are a joy to look back on, and decide your attitude and watch how the happiness spreads. Make sure that those around you know that you love them. And you will find, amazingly enough, you are loved too. Make time your friend, not your foe.
Let us sing this song for the turning of the world, that we may turn as one. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echoes of our turning. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echoes of turning. Let us swing to the song for the loving of the world, that we may love as one. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echoes of our loving. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will be the echoes of our loving.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? My name is Amy Lowen, and I created those two paintings, which I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. And Katie asked me, well, you know, I'm going to do, on 29th of December, a session focused on time. Do you have any artwork you can bring? I said, okay, yes, I have a piece of art I can bring you, but now I'm bringing two. So, you know, when you look at these paintings, first of all, you look at the blue painting, you can think about right away about the sky, right? Timeless, above. It's just going over and over, far, far away. So, you know, when we think about time, we look at the clock, right? And we often consider time being very linear. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 5, 6, and 12 o'clock, a linear. I often think about that. But how about we think about time, time past, time present, time future, actually happening simultaneously. Think about yourself. You contain the past, as many have talked about memory. We contain the memory in us at this moment. And also, we contain the promises of the future. So time, let's think about that. Time present, past, present, and future occur simultaneous. And that will give you a lot more possibilities. Okay, now talk about the painting. So you see the blue painting. When you get closer to it, you will see a big circle. So circle has many meanings. Circle means wholeness. And then circle has no beginning and no end, forever moving and changing. And it's a kind of no beginning, no end, perpetually moving, continuously changing. And it basically signifies the meaning of eternal. It's eternal. So when you come and look at the painting later on, if you stand in front of it, you see this blue painting, it will give you a sense of going beyond, deeper and deeper somewhere else. So that's about the blue painting. And then this piece, perhaps it's easier to think about time. This is sunflowers. Now, first of all, this painting I painted in 1991? 1998. So that's almost 30 years ago. This painting is painted this year, the year 2000, so they are about 30 years apart. And there is about time, right? And in this painting, you look closer, there's a sunflower in different stages. The sunflower in full bloom, and the sunflower in the beginning as a bud, and then the sunflower when it's wilted at the end. However, within this sunflower, it contains the seed for the future, and it also contains the possibility, the reality of that it will get fainted. So this is kind of 3 stages of the sunflower. So that's basically about the painting. But I'd like to also share with you how I created this art. Now here I have a very big brush. You see the big brush? So when I created this blue painting almost 30 years ago, that's actually when I was studying my art at the university. And so I have a big piece of paper, long paper, vertically on the wall. It's vertical. And I use this big brush, and I paint it this way, this way, this way. Of course, a lot of skills involved to be able to allow all the paint to merge into each other. And because it's vertical, it's actually strips. So later when you come in front, you will see some fine strips, vertical strips. So there are many, many layers in order to create the luminous feeling and the feeling of depth, which is also created by the shading of the art. So it's quite a skill involved, as you can tell. Vertical, and yet very harmoniously blend together. And then after that, I make a template of the circle on a piece of paper, on a piece of plastic, and I put it there, and I trace it with a piece of paper, pencil, very lightly. And then after that, I will paint it with small brushes like this, okay? And when you come and look at it, you will see the circle is not just a solid circle, just like life. There are many colors and stages. So the circle has different colors and different thickness. Again, talking about the changes. And this sunflower, I painted this year, just a few weeks ago. This year. And I planted a lot of sunflower this year in my garden. And so I picked them, and I picked the sunflower and put it right in front of me. And I looked at the sunflower very attentively to paint them. And when I look at the sunflower, I said to myself, I'm learning from the master, because I'm learning all the beauty of the shape. I'm learning all the nuances of the color. I'm learning from the master, which is our creator. So that's about the sunflower. And even now, the sunflowers are wilted. I still have quite a few of them in my studio because the wilted sunflower also has beauty. And I'm still working on this series. They will also give me inspiration. Even they're wilted, they have their own beauty. I will give me the inspiration to continue. And for this piece, I use this fine brush. Can you imagine? Just very fine brush. So, big and small. And I hope you enjoyed the picture. Come and look at them. And if you have any questions, I will be very happy to answer.
May this time deepen our resolve to live in ways that build the world we want tomorrow. May this time inspire us to act, to live the words we say, to learn and grow in the shortness of our time. Each act of love a wonder sublime. May this time deepen our resolve to seek the light and help its brilliant glow.
Just a couple of announcements this morning to fill you in and remind you of some things that are happening in our life at this place. First of all, I want to mention that next Sunday, as we've done at least the last few years, we're going to do the Watchword event. Thanks you, Dara. So it's a ritual we've had about randomly choosing a card with a value or virtue that you might nurture or watch for throughout the year. And I can remember a couple of years ago, the one I got was courage, and I held it with me all year. It was probably the year I thought we could do the transition process here, and I might have the courage to lead it. Anyway, I do remember very specifically that it was a word that I found really a challenge and helpful throughout the year. So we will be doing that next year. And the other announcement is we have a video from Steve Bailey, who is our food bank guy, reminding us that while we probably did whatever we could in December to ensure that everybody had food over the holiday time, that people still need to be fed in January and February through our cold winter. And I believe we have a video for that. Do we, Dara? Yes, we do. Thank you.
Current reality of food insecurity in our Good morning, everybody. This is Steve Bailey, the coordinator of the Food Bank Depot Services at SSUC. As part of the Keep Thanksgiving Going campaign to impact the current reality of food insecurity in our communities throughout the year, we will be sponsoring a food drive for the month of January. During this time, food donations tend to decline after the holidays, so this effort is to help continue contributing to resources to help those in need. There are 2 boxes in the lobby ready to accept your donations of non-perishable foods and items. There are signs on the boxes indicating the most needed items, including canned meats and fish, beans, cereals, baby formula and diapers, pasta, and canned fruits and vegetables. If you prefer to make a monetary donation, those are welcomed as well. We would ask that you make the donations directly to the food bank, either through their website or by mailing a check. That information is also posted on the donation boxes or can be found by going to edmontonsfoodbank.com and clicking on Donate Now. If you wish to indicate your donation is on behalf of SSUC, you may indicate that when making the donation online or noting that in the memo section of your check. Thank you in advance for your donations and generosity, and you'll be seeing reminders in the weekly messenger and a reminder announcement later in January.
Before I change the light, I would really like to say a big thank you to Katie for pulling all this service together for us today. As our time together today and this year draws to a close, my hope for each of us is that we will take with us the gifts, blessings, and growth that we have gained individually and as a community from this past year and take it with us into the new year. May we share our light in the world and help to make the world a bit kinder, more just, and more hopeful as the result of sharing the light that we have. May the blessings be.